So we're gonna get a part here, but I'm gonna make it like this here. So this is gonna be our particle point. I'm gonna name it particle point. Pretty bad at spelling here. There we go. Particle point. So it's pretty small, but you're gonna want to add particles to it. There you go. So you now have this. You can either do that, or if you're feeling lazy, you can look up just blood effect. And then you can find like this or something. And yeah, that looks pretty good too. But if you're gonna want to actually make it, which I normally do, because I like having stuff that I actually made. But what you're gonna want to do is make it smaller. So make the size like 0.1 or something, pretty small. Then we're gonna change this. So this is 0.1 here, and we're gonna put that there, put that there, and then we're gonna kind of ease it down. Not like how I did. Yeah. So here, here, move this down to 0. So now what this is going to do is it's going to start out as nothing, so it doesn't just pop out into nowhere. And if you're going to wonder how I did this, you just click on size, go to this, and then you can change it here. You can move it down to 0, so it's nothing. Then it goes into 1. So, and then what we're going to want to do is change the color, right? And blood is red, so we're going to do that. Pretty much the same thing here. We're going to put these here. This I'm going to make white, but make it a little more gray here. And then we get bright red. And then we're going to ease a little bit into a darker red. And then we're going to make it black to kind of end it off with. Then I'd say that looks pretty good. And then what we're going to want to do, finally, is make the lifetime a little smaller. And then we're going to make the speed slower. Maybe 2. Nah, I'm going to stick with like 1.2 or something there. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. Spread angle, you're always going to want a spread angle. This pretty much makes it kind of spread out in a direction instead of completely straight in a line. And then what you can also do is have an acceleration that like goes down. Not that fast though, or else that happens. Make it pretty slow. Yeah, so now what it's going to look like is it's going to kind of spew up. And because we've done that, we can also kind of make the speed a bit faster just so it works a bit better. That's a bit too fast, I'd say. And then there, got your blood. Yeah, I'd say that looks pretty good. So now that we have our blood, we can put it somewhere on the Gore rig, right? And then, here we go, particle point. I'd normally name this blood. Particle can be blood. And then we're going to put the particle point into the Gore rig and into the torso. So you're going to click the torso, and then you're going to control click the particle point. And now you're going to want to go to easy weld here. It's in the moon animator. Parts, and then join in place. So what that does is it makes it so you can animate that inside a moon animator, so you can change where the blood's coming from. And I always disable the blood. And then what we're going to do, we're going to open the Gore, and perfect. You can see that you can animate the particle point here to change where the blood's coming from and all that. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to add, go to particle point, blood. And then we go to enabled. We can change that. So then you get this here. You can hit the equals key to place a keyframe there, hit 7 on it, value, and then you can change it to that so it's enabled. So then you can add stuff like that. I'm gonna make it a bit faster though, so they can have it kind of bleed for a little bit, and then kind of cut out here. They can always make it faster, but this is kind of the basic of what you want to do for the blood. And then what I'd always do is kind of make it a bit slower there. This here. Yeah, so if you want like sustained blood, you can keep it like this. Then it'll kind of cut off there. Then yeah, that's how you do the blood. But if you want to get like blood decals, like let's say someone got stabbed and you want them to kind of have a blood mark there. So you're gonna want to insert a part, make it pretty big, kind of like how big you want the hole to be. I always go to images and just kind of get blood, cause I can model blood. Go past all the emo stuff and you should find blood somewhere. Yeah, here's some blood. So let's see, yeah, make it transparent there, and then you have your blood decal. So you can also make the human root part transparent. But yeah, here's the blood. Let's say this happened to him, which that's pretty big, but you're gonna want to make it kind of inside of it, I guess you could say, like a little bit inside, just so you can see the particle. Well, not the particle, the decal, but you can actually see the like part. You can't see like any kind of gap between it, so it actually kind of looks like it's on him. So we can do the same thing. I named it blood decal. Blood, and then blood decal here. So perfect there. Make it transparent too, so you can't see. And then we're gonna do the same thing pretty much. We're gonna move it in the torso, weld it, and then we can open this, the Gore here. And I want to make this shorter. There we go. So, and then we're gonna add the blood decal, and we're gonna make it the transparency here. So then we're gonna put a point here, here, not yet. Change this to 7 and make the value 0, so it's not transparent. And then we're gonna put this here. So it's gonna either fade in or you just kind of make it go there real quick. Now, put this here, so it kind of goes and it goes away if you want. If you don't want that, we can just keep it there. So that's pretty much how you're gonna do that. That's how you're gonna get the blood. Now, let's say you want to kind of have a tool, right? You're just gonna get like, I don't know, like a knife or something. Here, that'll work. So, let's see where this is. This came in from, it's probably started back, isn't it? Yeah. Handle, let's get the handle, I guess. Delete this. If it has scripting in it, or even if it doesn't, you still want to be careful with all of it. Just delete everything from it. So, here's our knife. And let's say you want to make this like the weapon, right? So you're going to put it in the right arm, or whichever arm you want to make it. Here we go, put it in, and then there, we have that. So we're going to make this go into the Gore rig, right arm, and then weld them together. That's how you're going to weld everything with that. Make sure you don't go to the model and then create a weld, because that's going to like completely lock it. So you go to Gore, and then this will already work, because it's welded to him. You can see the handle here, you can animate the handle and all that. And then this will kind of go with him here. So then we can have this here. Then let's kind of do a little bit of an example here. So we kind of lifts this up, and this kind of tilts forward. And now would be a kind of good time to work on kind of making stuff look a bit more natural. Now this doesn't look natural. So what we're going to kind of want to do is before this actually starts, we're going to want to move this out more. It's a bit slower. And put it here. And move this here. So it kind of goes up slower so it looks a bit more natural. Like he's putting a bit more effort into putting it up. You also make this a little bit longer too. And really if you want you can move this back some too. So basically this part here is just making it look a bit better whenever it comes up to that. Moving it back is kind of stalling it, and then moving it up slowly is going to make it kind of look like he's just kind of easing into pulling it up, and then go over here, and then that's whenever he pulls it up. Now after you have something like this, you're going to want to kind of make it bend, like, not really bend, but kind of make it bounce some. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it up some, move this back. Actually, no. The handle shouldn't move there. Maybe that's a bit too much. And then we kind of move it back down. Alright, now we have that. So we're going to kind of ease it into this too. We're going to kind of move this up some too. So and then this looks more natural, which is actually pretty easy to do this, honestly. You just kind of have to get used to it a bit more with a knife and all that stuff. Because I can kind of tell you here, just kind of tell you what we did here. So you're going to want to move it up slowly, kind of get this back, and then we're going to kind of bounce it around a little bit whenever you get to there. So it'll kind of, you know, make it look a bit better, like he's not linear. Linear is something you don't really want to do. But there's that. Hopefully this helps with like the blood and all that, and this is just kind of knowledge here. It's my current style and how I do it. So you can probably learn different ways to do it, but that's kind of just my style on how I animate.